A beautiful sunny day in Nairobi, and all roads lead to Nyayo Stadium this afternoon for a finals doubleheader that could close out the KNBL 2024 to 2025 season. For our first game of the day, Coach Obi and the Zetech Sparks host Kenya Ports Authority as they try and bounce back from down 0-2 and buy themselves another day to get the championship trophy. Coming to you live for Okapi Sports Network, I'm Slale Shani alongside my broadcast partner, Tranel Aaron. Tranel, Zetech has struggled to lower their turnovers and convert on their possessions against the KPA side that has held Michelle Sokuju to averaging 10 points a game. The regular season, she was averaging 20. What do Zetech Sparks need to do differently today?
I think you began by saying it right there. You answered it. They need to lower their turnovers and convert on the offensive boards and the extra possessions they get, and they have gotten plenty. And one of the key people who has been very active in ensuring they get a lot of offensive possessions or extra possessions is Angela Akinyi. She had 15 rebounds in game 1 to go alongside her 9 points, and then she had 18 rebounds in game 2 to go alongside her 15 points. Now, point to note, out of those 15 points from Angela, 7 came from the free throw line. She was 25% from the field, which those are not finals numbers. That will not get it done against the seasoned, experienced KPA side. They need to value their possessions more if they want to live to fight another day.
Well, Zetech have been averaging 23 turnovers a game, KPA 22 turnovers. It's not been pretty basketball, but that's playoffs, that's finals basketball.
It has definitely not been pretty, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and the pink sheet is the pink sheet. The pink sheet will not care how many turnovers you had. But just as you mentioned, and I said this in the last game, Slale, these are the finals. Stars have to step up. For me, 10 points from Michelle. It's either her offense is off, she needs to adjust to the very physical defense, primarily by Alima Dumbia, who has been her primary defender, and they're forcing the ball out of her hands or forcing her to make tough decisions, which has led to her 10 points. And you mentioned her averaging 20 plus points in the season. The regular season is over. We are in the playoffs. Regular season, it is over and done with. She needs to bring that same heat, that same energy into the finals. If Zetech, I still think that there are certain people who have been dominant from the Zetech side during the season. Michelle, Christine, even Maureen, who happens to be their top scorer, averaging 11 points in these finals. So I still think that those three, now along with the others, people like Angela Akinyi, who has proven to be a beast on the board, she's leading both teams in rebounding, and it's not even close. So, and then now when the others step up, but the stars who have been shining during the season have to set the pace for the rest of the team.
Tranel said it. I don't think I could have broken that down any better, Tranel. Really, it's time to lock in, and KPA now 1 win away from taking back the championships. We've talked about KPA being a dynasty team, the legends that have gone through that team. Last year, Equity Hawks were the champions. This year, KPA have a very strong chance of coming out on top. And I don't know if Zetech can pull it off tonight to extend the series to a Game 4, but I know they do have what it takes to do exactly that.
They're definitely going to have to dig deep. And Zetech, listen, Zetech are not in the finals by chance or by fluke. They were the #1 team as we take a pause for the national anthem.
as we start to settle in to this game. Trinell and myself trying to break down the journey it has taken for both of these teams to get to this point right now. Zetech up on your screens, down 0-2 in this series, but had an outstanding road to this stage right now. The regular season, they finished 20-2, and Coach Obi continues to sing the praises of his players. Again, this is a team that lost some very key players over the last couple years, from Valerie, who went to Equity Hawks, to Medina Okot, who now plays for the South Carolina Gamecocks, all the way to Kyobe, who's now playing for Kenya Ports Authority. So for him to be able to adjust and to work with the new players that came onto his roster and still take them into the finals is a feat in and of itself. He should hold his head very high.
Very high. And you know, to whom much is given, much is expected. Zetech set the bar for themselves by finishing the regular season as the top seed. So we're expecting them to play like the top seed. They finished this season as the number 1 team. That's why the finals are being played in Nairobi and not Mombasa.
Correct. As we take a look at the team roster for Kenya Ports Authority, a player who was outstanding at Game 2 of the final series, Chantal Kyobe. She had 19 points and came through in the clutch for Kenya Ports Authority. But really, Kenya Ports Authority has so many offensive weapons, and you can see that level of output coming from any of the players on the team roster. As we now take a look at Zetech Sparks, Trinell has spoken at length about Angela Akinyi, who's had a beast of a game, especially dominating on the boards. But another player that we don't talk about as much is Maureen Bosbori. She has been the floor general for Zetech Sparks and has also been able to develop such trust from her coach that she was going to take the winning shot. She did take the winning shot or for the victory in Game 1.
Yeah, and just that it did not fall. But as a coach, as a player, as a fan, I'm happy. I was happy with the shot that she took, you know. And I mentioned the core of Zetech this season has been Maureen, Michelle, and Christine. You know, Angela has stepped into the mix as a person who will dominate the boards, and that's also a point of concern for KPA. One player having 33 rebounds in 2 games. That's that. If I was Coach Anthony Ojukwu and Coach Millicent, I would be very concerned about that, because the only person who has come close to that was Grace Irebu in Game 1. She had 14 boards, but in Game 9 she had single-figure boards. So Angela has totally been dominating the boards. You know, for KPA, they have had pretty much of a balanced scoring because you find Chantal is the top scorer with 13, but Alima is not too far behind. Chantal, she's leading with 13.5, and Alima is not too far behind with 11. Grace, she had a good Game 1. She had a bit of a quiet Game 2, but let me point out her help defense in Game 2 was simply spectacular. The way she was rotating and forcing players to alter their shots, you know, getting, even if she won't pick up the rebound, but because of the drives and her presence, you alter your shot, your teammate picks up the rebound. That's still a plus to her. So I felt, especially in the third quarter, she had a couple of blocks here and there. As on the screen, we see one of the best coaches in the country, Coach Morris Obilo. And again, I cannot sing his praises enough, Lale. With the amount of transitions he has over the years and the way he has kept his team in contention for the title every single year. If he's not in the finals, he's in the semi-finals. And I don't know whether, it's been a while since we've seen a university team feature that regularly in the top 4 every single year, year in, year out.
Absolutely. The last 5 years, it's been a 2-horse race between Equity Hawks and, in fact, I would go even as far as to say the last 10 years and beyond. It's been a 2-horse race between Equity Hawks and Kenya Ports Authority. And then Zetech Sparks entered the group chat and disturbed everything. So now we're seeing them come to the fore and start to really dominate the women's side of things. As we take a look at the referees who will be officiating this game.
Yeah.
I think a correction there on the
Just on the
referees.
names, yes.
Yeah, on the names. Of course, we have to mention the outstanding referee, Eric Otieno.
Yes.
Always great to have him on the floor, especially in high-profile basketball games.
Very. His experience and his soberness while making calls is unparalleled. Funny thing about the Zetech program, they're also in the finals for the Division 1 playoffs.
But that's just a testament to Coach Obi's player development.
Yes.
And you see, those players in the Division 1. Those are going to be the top players from that team are going to feed into the senior
Yes.
team.
Now, again, even in the Division 2 in the NBA, his team is currently number 2 in the standings. I am not making this up, Silale. Again, big shout out to Coach Obi. And then on the other side, of course, we have Coach Anthony Ojukwu as the head coach. Now, this year he's been joined by Coach Millicent. Now, Anthony Ojukwu has done it all, been there. He has been at the biggest stages in the continent. And we could write a whole book about him and what he's done in basketball. He has been one of the key reasons that KPA has been a dynasty for the last 20 plus years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wealth of experience. He was been called a defensive general in many circles.
Oh, yes.
And that's how they were able to hold Michel to this few points.
10 points.
He figures out who your star player is, and he locks them down.
So Michelle is averaging 10. In game 1, she had 15. In game 2, she had 5. 5 points. As the ball is tipped off and controlled by Zetech Sparks. And Maureen Bosibori gets things underway. Straight to the forays. Christine and Zetech have their first turnover with 5 seconds of play.
Something I'd like to see as an improvement in this game on
Yes.
both sides for both teams is the area of turnovers.
Yes.
23 turnovers, averaging 24 turnovers a game is just too much. It's too much. So let's see how both sides adjust. As we see the attempt on Kenya Port's Authority side. Now listen, it's a warm afternoon. And as far as warm afternoons goes, a lot of teams start out a bit sluggish. So it's important that both teams warmed up very well.
Yes, they did.
But I think this first quarter is going to say a lot. Now in game 2, Zetech lost by 5 points. In game 1, they lost by 1.
Yes.
And what that should tell you is that these two teams have been very evenly matched up. There's not been a blowout victory.
Yes.
And I imagine that that's going to be the case today as well.
Also, something to note is that in game 2, at some point, Zetech were down by the biggest margin of these finals. They were down by 14, and they clawed their way to make it a 5-point game by the final whistle.
Kenya Port's Authority getting chance after chance to score. Grace Irebu finally converts, and it's KPA that draw first blood in this game 3.
The thing about the finals is I always love seeing the stars shine. And the stars from both teams have to come out guns blazing as Aminata quickly pushes the ball up court, hands it over to Alima on the wing.
And that's a sloppy pass from Dumbia. Angela Kinyi gets her first steal of the game. Bosbori to bring things up and then throws it out of bounds up over the hands of Beryl Aoko.
I think right there, Alima Dumbia and Maureen, they were just trying to see who can give a better turnover.
Semaseku at the top of the key. Splits the defense, gets all the way to the rack, and then the denial from Akinyi, but that's going to be her first personal foul. And it looks like the foul was actually picked up by Maureen Bosbori on the floor. So before, as she was shooting, and that's why she's at the line to shoot these couple of free throws. First free throw gone, and I wish you guys at home knew how much our hearts break whenever a player misses from the free throw line.
In game 1, we were joking around and saying if some of these rules were there in your days, that you'd probably average 50. Because nowadays, it's like the moment a player gathers the ball, even without attempting, that's already the act of shooting. Even before you take your first step, as long as you've gathered, the ball does not touch the ground. That's already act of shooting. And that's why Aminata went to the line.
Going to be inbounded by Kiyobe. Kiyobe into Yvonne Akinyi. Yvonne throws it out of bounds. We got another turnover. And it's already the efficiency in this game is leaving much to be desired. But again, it's early days. We got the steal from Semaseku. Kick out to Kiyobe. Kiyobe up top to Doumbia. Tries to get it back in to Semaseku. Christine Akinyi doing a great job with Angela Akinyi of getting those steals.
Yes. When you mentioned a steal as Michelle Sokoju still trying to find her range, she gets it back, maybe a reload, decides to go in instead. An off-balance layup doesn't get it to go, and KPA come up with it. Long outlet pass, maybe a bit too strong. And the turnovers are really piling up for KPA. I think this should be their 4th or 5th turnover in less than 3 minutes of play. And today, it's unless they adjust and get some form of flow, it's going to be long day. As Angela with a lovely feed in to Christine Akinyi. Nice post-to-post play right there. Early on, you mentioned Samaseku with the steal. In game 1, she had 5 steals, so they'd better keep an eye out for her because her hands are very active.
They are indeed, as Angela Akinyi sets up for her free throws, misses the first one, and Zetech have been shooting about 50% from the free throw line. A statistic I'm sure they will surely be trying to work on today. Angela Akinyi scored a good chunk of her points, 15 points in the game 2 from the free throw line. I believe it was 7 points.
Yeah, she had 7 of 11 from the free throw line in game 2.
And she does a fantastic job of drawing the foul, getting to the line, as we see Semaseku bring the ball up for KPA. Semaseku kicks it out to Doumbia. Doumbia fires into Yvonne. Yvonne out for the mid-range. It's good. KPA 5, Zetech 1.
Or should we be saying Grace Irebu 4 and Zetech 1 and Aminata 1 also. If they let Grace get comfortable in this game, she'll kill you from the mid-range. She has such a soft touch. Beautiful spin move by Christine, doesn't get it to go. And Angela Akinyi again with offensive rebound, doesn't get it to go. Christine Akinyi with yet another rebound.
And it's not pretty. Doumbia looking to make him pay, in and out off the glass. Doumbia doesn't want any games. She's got her eye on the prize. And it's just 40 minutes to get there as KPA now take a 6-point lead against Zetech Sparks. Sparks have only managed to score 1 point off the free throw line. Akinyi now on the drive. She's fouled on the way up, but earns a trip to the free throw line.
Again, you see that rule I was telling you about. The moment you gather the ball, that's automatically assumed as active shooting.
We got a timeout on the floor as Coach Obi wanted to clean some things up for his squad that were down 6, unable to score. Michelle Sokuju continuing to attempt from 3, and in game 2 she was 0 for 9.
Actually, if you're going to look at her numbers, she was 0 for 9 from 3-point. She was 1 of 7 from 2-point, and she was 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Automatically, Slale, when I point those numbers out to you, what should she be doing more of?
She's got to attack. She's got to attack the hoop.
Get to the line, because if
Get to the line.
If you're 3 of 3 from the free throw line, then maybe that's your bread and butter.
Yes. And I think it's Coach Obi that should point that out to her. An interesting fact, I didn't realize that Michelle actually began playing basketball, I believe, in 2018 or 2019. That was not a long time ago. And I think that this kind of experience will help her. You know, regardless of the outcome of this final series, this kind of high pressure environment will help her in the long run in terms of her decision making, because she has a great package in terms of her offensive skill set.
Yes.
But her decision making can only improve with certain levels of experience.
Yes.
And that can only, you have to be in the hot pot.
Yeah. And if she started playing basketball not so long ago, and she's one of the stars of the league currently, then, like there's some people who are just naturally born with it, as Angela Akinyi sings the first one. And I think that with the amount of work she's putting in off the court, off training, her personal work ethic, then I think she's on the right path.
Akinyi gets both to fall.
Well, Christine Akinyi, she's just picking up where she left off in game 2.
Semaseku wants the screen, gets it out to Doumbia. Doumbia loses it. Christine now trying to push the ball on transition. Bosbori thought about the shot, decided to drive and kick. Pass is snuffed out. And KPA now with another chance to convert. Doumbia, too many thoughts going in her mind. One step too many, ball's gonna go the other end.
I think Alima Doumbia has been one of the more reliable players for KPA in terms of her calmness and poise, and she's uncharacteristically off in this first quarter. But hopefully she'll be able to figure it out.
Still plenty of time on the game clock. Sakuju now trying to set something up. Doumbia right there with her. Akinyi throws the ball right into the hands of Yvonne Akinyi. Semaseku now. Not sure who
or what she was.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's as confused as we are.
Aminata, we are right with you. We are just as confused as you.
We're aligned. And now that's a great find for Angie Akinyi.
Beautiful pick and roll at that time. Oh, and Angie must have landed awkwardly because she's in a lot of pain. She looks in some discomfort. See, and the mistake that happened right there. Normally, they let Alima Doumbia play Michelle one-on-one, but at that particular possession, Grace also went after Michelle and left Angie wide open, and Angie found her rolling down to the rim for the easy 2. Man, I hate seeing players, especially key players, or any players going down in the finals. Finals, we need the best players available, we need the best coaches available, the best referees available, and of course the best broadcast available.
Straight up. And the best broadcast you're going to get right now is Okapi Sports Network. So we'll keep you updated on the situation with Angela Akinyi as we take a look at that replay right there. And
it looks like her knee went out because even she was clutching her knee. I really hope that it's not an ACL tear. It looks like her knee. When she landed, a lot of her weight was on her right side. So I really hope that it is not her knee that is the issue.
So Zetech Sparks down 2 now as Angela Akinyi is helped off the floor. Again, we will keep you updated on the developments there, but huge implications for Zetech Sparks. I don't think it's any reason for them to despair or give up. As I said earlier in this game, Zetech Sparks have all the tools to give KPA a run for their money. Even with Angela Akinyi off the floor, it just means another player has to step up.
These are the finals. Next man up mentality, And even in the NBA, even in the league, we have had people who have stepped up in the finals who have not been active the whole season, I'm reminded of the case and study of Lakers and Spurs legend Robert Horry, the guy who just showed up in the finals as Grace misfires from the mid-line jumper.
Bosbori not able to get past Semaseku. Semaseku now on the drive. Could she go all the way? No, it's a kick out to Doumbia. Mid-range is good.
That is basic, fundamental, beautiful basketball. the little show and go fake sidestep. Oh my God.
KPA putting on a show, teaching us basketball 101. And now they've taken a 4-point lead. Bosbori thought about the shot. A little bit out of range. Not too much movement happening off the ball. And now they have to force the shot up.
With the shot clock winding down. Nice stifling defense by KPA.
Semaseku now to bring the ball up. Kick out to Doumbia. Doumbia slicing and dicing. Michelle Sokoju on the defensive board. She's going to push it. Sokoju felt good about the shot. Gets the bounce. No bucket. Came up just a little bit short. Now we got Kiyobe at the wing. And you get the sense and the composure that Kenya Ports Authority have as they're going to call a blocking foul on Christine Akinyi.
Yep.
Semaseku heaving hard. Listen, Christine Akinyi is slim but very strong. If you run into her, it's like running into a brick wall. I have experienced this myself. Would not advise.
Yeah, and then, so the advantage is that she had planted her feet, so it's like throwing a ball against a wall kind of thing.
Natalie, that's still pass in. Natalie Akinyi. It's a bit dangerous pass in. As we get to the final 3 minutes of this first quarter. Again, we still got a game, ladies and gentlemen. 4 points is nothing in basketball. And it is taken away. Evelyn Ashley Minayo. And she looks very similar to Evelyn from this angle.
Yes, she does.
But Ashley Minayo steps up to the plate. Zetech now down 1.
And we talked about energizing plays in the men's game, and maybe that could be something, that could be some spark that the Sparks needed, to ignite their fuel and get them going and make this a game.
Well, I do know once the Zetech Sparks get going, it's very, very tough to slow them down. And we've not really seen them step into a comfortable offensive rhythm for an extended period of time in Game 1, neither in Game 2. Today could be the day. Today could be the day.
Who knows, maybe 3 is a lucky number.
Doumbia hits both free throws, and we know she's a high percentage shooter from the line. Michelle Sokuju gets the screen, loses the ball. She's bailed out by Darlene Joroge this time. Nice easy lay-in to finish out the possession. And the other end of the floor, KPA making quick conversions. This basketball game does not leave you any time to celebrate. It's a great response time from KPA. Michelle Sokuju trying to shake off her defender. Gets it into Joroge, and Joroge, nice soft touch for the midi.
And it's still a 1-point game as a timeout is called now by KPA. Coach Anthony Ojuku and Coach Millicent not liking what they are seeing. And yes, after that 3-point by Ashley Minayo, you see now since then they've been trading baskets with KPA.
They have indeed. And we said we need someone to step up to the plate. We've seen several players coming to the fore. I'm so happy to see Darlene Joroge getting airtime. She used to play for Twende's female team.
The one that plays in the street league?
Yes.
Okay.
And she always had talent. Even back then, she was always a standout talent. So I'm sure Coach Obi recognized that and had brought her onto his squad. I think she might be the one to fill in the gap for Angie Akinyi.
Yeah, definitely in the post position. And I think also Ashley Minayo, she's been somebody who has come up the ranks, has had a number of outings with the national team 3-on-3, the junior teams. So she also has a wealth of experience, and she's been playing at a high level. I mean, just the fact that you have ever been selected for the national team, that already says a lot about your game, you know. So it will be really interesting to see about the others. And I always say this, in finals or in any team, so you have the star players, but the others, there have to be some others who are showing up, you know, because it's like one player can score 40, but if you still get the loss, it means your teammates, they weren't involved.
So it's a 1-point game with under 2 to play. Natalie drive and kick pass is snuffed out. Michelle Sokuju now on transition. She's got Doumbia on her. Behind the back, slicing and dicing. Kicks it out to Christina Kinyi for the shot.
And referee Eric has ushered for a foul on the floor.
Michelle Sokuju, very dangerous with that ball in her hands. Her handles and her low center of gravity make her a very tough player to contend with, which is just credit to how Doumbia has been able to manage defending her.
Yeah.
As we see a substitution on the floor, Selena Okumu in. Sokuju fouled. She'll head to the free throw line. It's going to cost KPA 3 free throw attempts. And I don't know, I keep on telling you, Trinell, you might be a prophet because you said that Michelle Sokuju needs to get to the line more. And you somehow you have channeled that mind,
that energy
to her, and I think she's heard you.
I think, you know, also maybe to add to my list of talents, maybe I never mentioned, but at times I am telepathic. So I just told her from here, from the studio, and she heard me. As Barbara Diana picks up that was a reaction foul as opposed to her being in the right place at the right time. She realized she wasn't there, and she reacted to seeing Michelle wide open. As Michelle hits her second one.
Zetech now have taken back the lead. Sokuju with an opportunity to extend it to 2.
See, so far she's 2 of 2 from the line. 3 of 3 from the line.
Let's hope that she continues that trend as Natalie Akinyi now brings the ball up. Kick out to Kyobe. Kyobe from downtown. She wanted the foul and she got it.
She got it. Although in that particular one, I felt, my opinion, I felt that the ref bought whatever she was selling.
It was a quick call. And Kyobe, I mean, it's an art, isn't it? It's part of the art of basketball.
Yes,
you need to be able to sell the foul to convince the referees.
Yes, you do.
To make that call.
Ooh.
Kyobe not as efficient as Sokuju was on the other end.
Yes.
But she is generally a pretty great free throw shooter.
She is generally a good shooter. And let's not forget, it's Chantal Kyobe's free throw that gave KPA the win in game 1.
Michelle Sokuju trying to take it coast to coast. She went at 4 defenders. That was not the right play.
Definitely. She should have kicked it out or somebody in the baseline. And those are the small things that make the difference. As Celine does the same thing on the other end. Michelle Sokuju, so slippery. Ashley Minayo with the heave and gets it to go. Ashley Minayo, 2 of 2 from the line. And I said it, Ashley Minayo, she has been shooting with the 3-on-3 team and the junior teams at a national level. She needs to step into this party.
6 quick points for Ashley Minayo. Zetech now with the 4-point lead. We got under a minute of game left in this first quarter. And now the steal. Darlene Jaroga trying to chase it down. Gets tangled up. You can see Coach Obi clapping for his player. So impressed with what she's been able to do in the last couple of possessions. She's getting it done on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you know, it's those hustle plays, those extra plays, that extra effort. In game 2 we talked about energy, And there are three types of energy. There's your energy, that one that you bring to the floor. There's your teammates' energy, and then there's a crowd's energy. Once you and your teammates have used up your energy, you feed off the crowd's energy. But if you have used up all of your energy, or you don't have any, if you're flat, then the crowd goes flat. So it's tough to feed off anything.
So we got some stoppage time here, as it's 22 seconds to go for the end of this first quarter. Njoroge fakes the handoff, gets it back to Sokuju. Sokuju essentially is the player you want to have with their hand in the ball. A quick fire shot from Christine Akinyi isn't going to get there. And Natalie with seconds. Pass is broken up. Minayo, long pass. That's going to be the buzzer to send us to the bottom of the first quarter. Zetech Sparks missing Angela Akinyi, no problem. They've taken a 4-point lead.
And if I'm Coach Obi, I am looking to actively get Ashley Minayo running off screens like a mad woman. Because I still think, that that's one area that Zetech has struggled with from the three-point line. And if you have people shooting threes, the KPA's defense is extended. That would mean more rebounds for an already very good rebounding team. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the first quarter, and it has been a quarter. KP at some point, they led the game 9-5, and then Zetech came and took the lead when the scores were 12-13, and Zetech have extended their lead to a 4-point game. It seems like Angela's injury might have motivated them a bit. She's like a martyr.
Well, it happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you have your star player, they become a crutch for the rest of the other players. Instead of realizing, like, no, all of us need to contribute. So you have a star player, they become the crutch. You want to put all the responsibility on them instead of recognizing what you can offer to the team and to the game at that point in time. So having Angela Akinyi off the floor has forced Darlene Njoroge to step up. She knows she's not getting a sub.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that she's been able to embrace that level of pressure and perform.
Yeah. And also, like when somebody goes down, you're like, hey, we have something to rally around. We have someone to play for. Let's do this for Angie, that kind of vibe also. And KP have their work cut out for them. KP have their work. Zetech are not going to hand them the win on a silver platter. They are going to have to fight for it. But as we've seen this whole series long, both teams have been used to coming down from 4 or 5 points deficit. We saw Zetech coming down from a 14-point deficit to make it a 5-point game. So I don't know whether I am too worried as a viewer of this 4-point game. But one thing that you do not want to let Zetech do is to get into a rhythm, because they haven't had that all series. And once they get into a rhythm, and then they involve their transitional game, it's going to be tough for KPA. KPA, on the other hand, they just need to go back to their stifling defense, their physical play. In game 2, we saw them run Zetech down the transition, and so far they haven't been able to replicate that in this game.
Indeed. And if you're just joining us, it's the first of a doubleheader this lovely Saturday afternoon at Nyayo National Stadium. We've got Game 3 of the ladies' final series between these two teams on your screen right here. And later on, it'll be the KPA men facing the home side Nairobi City Thunder. And if you are not already on your way to Nyayo National Stadium, listen, just stay at home and hang out with me and Trinell, because the gym is quickly getting packed as we have a personal foul assessed on Selena, knocking Michelle Sokuju down.
Is Celine getting a bit too over physical, much to the referee's dislike?
Well, Njuku sends Selena onto the floor. It's for that ball pressure.
Yes.
And now Darlene Njoroge kicks it out to Minayo. Minayo, that time is off. Bosbori with the O-board.
And Zetech get yet another offensive rebound.
Sokuju with a hand in her face. She's off. Darlene Njoroge kicks it back out. They got a new shot clock. Bosbori this time felt good about it. comes up short. Darlene Joroge, a rebounding machine for Zetech Sparks in this possession. And now the finish. Oh, the foul is drawn. That's going to be called on Semaseku.
Yes. Beryl Otieno. If I was the KPA technical team right now, I would address the rebounding issue, because Zetech just got 3 possessions in a row of offensive rebounds, and that you definitely have to address it. There's no way KPA are going to win this game giving up those many offensive rebounds, because eventually something will drop. And out of the 3 possessions, Zetech at the line. Okay, Beryl has missed them both, but you can't bargain with that.
Trying to put some ball pressure up top. Zetech, recover. Okumu hits it to the corner. Kiyobe with the pocket 3.
Wide open. Where was the defense? I mean, like, she was literally all alone.
And Selena Okumu to pick up another personal foul.
Actually, the referee has assessed the foul to Aminata Samaseku as Aminata walked away protesting, and she needs to be careful. Aminata is very crucial to the KPA team, and she's their current floor general, the starting floor general, and she has been amazing, but she has picked up 2 quick fouls in succession. Because even the previous foul on Beryl was by Aminata. As you can see, the statistician for KPA, Micho Chola, contesting, I don't know what he's protesting. I think they're trying to give the foul to Celine.
Well, Celine, I don't think that's the greatest idea, because Celine would have 2 as well. And I'm sure they'd want to have her on the floor, but I guess Semaseku is the more valuable player to have on the floor for KPA.
Even if you look at it in terms of minutes, Samaseku and Alima Dumbia, followed by Gracie Rebu, they play the most minutes on this team.
Another sloppy pass from Michelle Sokuju. As we have a whistle on the floor. A carry has been called on Semaseku.
Yeah, it was a bit subtle, but it was a bit subtle, because even the moment the referee blew the whistle, the first thing that Michelle Sokoju did, she showed the sign for carrying.
Okay, now don't do that. You are setting yourself up.
Again, I say it was subtle because the bench didn't react, the players didn't react, and yeah, to me, it should have just gone on. But hey, the referee's decision is always final, and that was called by Eric, so...
Darlene Joroge puts her head down. And another offensive board for Zetech Sparks. Bosbori has got it on the wing, decides to drive, goes for the runner. No go. Dumbia now center lane. Yes.
She put some muscle in a hustle, and she wanted the foul called as well.
And now Michelle Sokuju denied the attempt. Dumbia is going to make him pay on the other end. Kenya Ports Authority back-to-back buckets. They've taken the lead back from Zetech Sparks.
And Grace with an emphatic block. And had some words for her also after that.
Bosbori, she's got 2 on her. Manages to get the ball out. Minayo fakes the pass, goes in for the teardrop. Big boards from Irebu. Here comes Semaseku. Long pass is picked up by Bosbori. Bosbori now with numbers. Kicks it out. Sokuju lines it up. Misses.
Oh. And that was a mishandle by Joroge. I think she mistimed it. And we have a tangle under the rim between Bosibori and Chantal Kiobe. Those are former teammates who have played together for quite a long time. As the referee indicates, a common ball. And Chantal Kiobe is slow to get up, but she's up on her feet. And as viewers, we love to see that. Hey, to all the people who are joining us today in our live stream, tell us where you're viewing us from, and as usual, drop a comment as to which team you're rooting for and who you think will win the series.
So we got a whistle on the floor, and it looks like an off-the-ball foul might have been called. So it's going to be inbounded from the side. That's Evelyn Diana at the wing. We're going to call a blocking foul on Doumbia. And KPA now starting to dig themselves in a hole with their fouling situation. It's going to be Doumbia's second. So you got now key players for KPA with 2 fouls each.
And
the amazing thing about Ojuku, yes, plenty of time in the second quarter. And the amazing thing about Ojuku is that he's not trigger happy with that substitution when his star players have 2 fouls. And it's a very old school, it's the OG Kenyan coaches who did that. The late Smart Solumbo did the same thing. We're seeing it here now with Ojuku. We've seen it with Cliff O'War.
I think the most he'll do is maybe adjust the defense, sort of going man-to-man. Beautiful feed by Aminata, fake by Velma. She goes up for the midi and gets it to drop with a foul in the process. Now, Velma, under the radar, she's a very underrated mid-range shooter. She has quite a touch in the mid-range, and I'm taken back to last year's series between KPA and Equity, and in game 2, Velma had herself a game with a mid-range jumper. She had herself a game. So you see, with smart coaches or old school coaches, the most thing that they'll do is adjust the defense. You see, now instead of Alima Doumbia going full court pressure, now they're going into a trap, which reduces her chances of fouling again. Initially, she was on ball pressure, but now they're going into kind of a trap.
So Christina Kinyi now handling the ball up top. Evelyn Diana, the cross. Oh my Lord! She's trying to catch a body. She's trying to send someone to the floor.
You know, my head was moving from side to side here in the studio with her as she was doing the crosses and the euros. Oh my God. She had me out of my seat.
Doumbia finds Yvonne. Yvonne called for the 3 seconds, so the basket will not count, as KPA now with a 7-point lead. And this is the largest lead that they've had in this game so far. 6:26 left on the clock here in the second quarter. Zetech Sparks have cooled off, and they're going to need a spark from one of their players. Again, someone needs to step up to the plate for the Sparks to cut down this lead.
Especially now also with Michelle on the bench, Maureen Bosibori on the bench, as Beryl Oko steps out of bounds.
But I have to say that Zetech Sparks are not doing a good job with feeding the post. They're giving in those high-arcing, flipping the ball into the post, giving the defender all kinds of time to recover, and then they want to blame the post player.
Yes. And I know this is something that you can talk about for hours. You being a former post player, Slale.
My heart is hurting. I'm getting a bit of PTSD here.
PTSD, deja vu, memories as Yvonne throws the ball out of bounds for another KPA turnover. Also, another thing that many guards don't understand is that feeding the post, you have to be at the right angle. You have to be a place where you can see their chest. If you can't see their chest, don't throw that ball.
Not to mention, feeding the post from the top of the key is not always the best idea.
Unless you're feeding the high post.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to have the high the to the left or the right, the wing is the best place to feed the post player, even from a defensive standpoint. You don't have a lot of help side defense when you play like that.
One of the rules that I teach my players is that when you're feeding the post, if you cannot see the flat of their chest, then you don't have the angle. As we have another KPA foul on the floor. as Aminata Samaseku looks to take a breather. With 5:41 left in this second quarter, KPA with a 5-point lead. Oh, I think we must have missed that. I think that was a foul on Aminata. Hence why now she needs to be subbed. Because with 3 fouls in the first half, and she's one of your key players. But Christine fails to convert on both. And we have a trip foul by Beryl Ooko on Velma. Alima Dumbia inbounding to the experienced Natalie Akinyi, quickly throws it up.
Now feed in to Velma. Velma has 2 on her. Vaughn bails her out. Dumbia now, great look at the rim, comes up short. And then a great, oh wow, transition offense to perfection right there as Marsha Ooko finishes up the play. 3-point game, KPA still up. Natalie Akinyi takes it to the wing. Velma finds the bottom of the net, no sweat.
I tell you, Slale, at this point, I'm going to have to add the name Prophet and then have my M-Pesa number at the bottom of your screens.
Evelyn Diana trying to take on Dumbia.
That's an uphill task.
It is an uphill task. Marsha Ooko now hands it off. Barrel. It's a shot clock violation as Zetech, 1 pass, too many, unable to convert. KPA now 5 points up. But Zetech Sparks are hanging in there. They're staying within hands reach of KPA, not allowing them to get their runs.
As they have been doing all series.
And we said it, the first game, Zetech lost by 1. Second game, they lost by 5. Again, the trajectory of this game is making it look like it's going to be down to the wire. And there's not going to... is it really going to be double-digit leads? We don't know.
Well, I think one of the only double-digit leads we saw was by KPA in game 2. They were up by 14 with about 4 and change left. And Zetech clawed their way back to make it a 5-point game with 33 seconds left, which was literally, the game was within their reach.
Christina Akinyi with the steal. She might have stepped on the line. Yes, she did. It's a good effort from her. It's going to be a blue ball. Dumbia to inbound. Natalie Akinyi going to get a good chunk of minutes in this quarter with Semaseku out. Oh, the right idea, but too much of a leading pass to Yvonne, who did a great job of sealing her defender.
Yes, that was a perfect seal right there. Normally, as Christina Akinyi launches a 3 ball, doesn't get it to go, Natalie comes down with it, and that was ill-advised by Natalie. She should have been a bit more patient, especially her being the point guard.
And it looks like Angela Akinyi is back in the game.
And she has that knee all taped up, which is an inspiring sight to see. As
again, the joys of youth.
Yes, oh, the joys of youth. Slale, you're saying if that was you, you'd be like, call 911.
Listen, I've told you, just send the ambulance.
Yeah, with
send the stretcher.
With the Wyclef Jean song playing in the background. Someone call 911.
But yes, it is good to have Angela back on the floor. And she will shoot her trademark free throws, drains that one.
High-arcing with a perfect turkey neck.
And I'm telling you, it's Angela who always cuts down leads from the free throw line for Zetech Sparks. I don't know if that's intentional or it's just happenstance, but it's a trend.
Well, in game 2, she was 7 of 11. And even today, she should be either 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. You know, as Velma looks for options, finds one in Grace. We find Angela on the floor yet again.
Wow.
And she seems to be in pain. Oh, this is not good.
She's not looking great. And
I think she might have tweaked the same knee again, because for the amount of pain she's showing on her face. And this is great sportsmanship by the KPA team doctor. Let me just give her a big shout out to come and attend to a human, even though currently Angela is the opponent, but we are humans first. You know, and I think she's also more qualified than what Zetech have, and so a very big shout out to her.
She's always been very unbiased with her
Very,
treatment of players.
Very, even men. Like, I've seen her go out of her way for a game that even no KPA team is involved, you know, and she is there. She helps wherever she can, doesn't care about whether the medicine belongs to KPA. She just dispenses it, as Angela King is being carried out by the team doctor from KPA, by both the team doctors from KPA. Oh, man.
And as we take advantage of this dead ball, please remember that the giveaway is still on. Just have to subscribe to this YouTube page, then head on to Instagram and follow our Instagram pages on that social media platform for a chance to win an Okapi Sports Network t-shirt. So send us a DM, hashtag do more sports. We got them in black, white. We do not have them in pink.
So, Slale, given my current size, maybe I can get two and then take them to my tailor and have them join them and make them one big one. As Alima Dumbia is closely, as she's on.
And she's playing that sticky defense that we know her so well for, as Christine Akinyi continues to miss from long distance. Natalie Akinyi will bring the ball up.
She is sticking on Michelle like skin.
Another turnover for Kenya Ports Authority as they continue to struggle to feed the post. We've seen it from both teams.
A quick one. I don't know if you noticed what just happened in the previous play. The first time a few plays ago, Michelle went behind the back and left Alima Dumbia standing in the floodlights. Now this time around, she went behind the back and Alima Dumbia was right there. She had adjusted. So I don't know whether that was by chance or Alima Dumbia, she's adapting to every move that Michelle is throwing her way.
Well, she certainly has the basketball IQ to make that kind of adjustment. Mm-hmm. As we see now, Natalie Akinyi finally getting the ball on target. But it's going to be a travel.
And I saw it from here. She dragged her pivot foot. She was dragging it like dead weight.
Oh, no, not dead weight.
When something is dead weight, that's when you drag it, right? So the way she was trying to look for the passing angle, she kept dragging her foot like as if it was dead weight.
So still a 3-point game here. KPA have managed to maintain the lead for the better part of this second quarter. And now we got under 2.5 to go in this first half. Michelle Sokuju kicks it out to Marsha Ooko, fires without a second thought and misses everything.
Maybe she should have had a second thought. At times.
You can see Coach Obi with his hands on his hips. I'm sure he has words he'd like to whisper in Marsha's ear. And maybe those words will come during the halftime as Dumbia throws it right into the hands of Beryl Otieno. Bosbori kicks it out. Christina Akinyi down the lane. Christina Akinyi off. Beryl Otieno is fouled.
Man, Christine missed that layup at point blank range. Like, she was literally right there. She had the perfect move that she got past her defender in Gracie Rebu, and then she missed it at point blank range.
So it's 0 points for Akinyi, and she is 0 for 3 from beyond the arc and has not even attempted from mid-range, as we see the first free throw drained by Beryl Otieno.
since we are talking about 0 points, also another player who normally shows up for the Zetech Sparks, Maureen Bosibori, also hasn't scored in this game.
And despite that, they're only down 1 point.
Also without their rebounding machine.
Doumbia hesitation and not able to finish that. Sokuju, she's got 2 defenders on her. Decides to go for the baseline drive. Irebu makes her pay. And Michelle Sokuju, you're going to learn. Oh my goodness! Just as we talk about Bosbori's 0 points, she silences us here in the studio with 3.
Listen, I said it earlier. I am telepathic.
I believe it.
Maybe she didn't realize that she had 0 points.
We will add your M-Pesa PayBill number on the screen for the second half.
With
now, the steal and the lay-in for Maureen Bosbori. 5 quick points for her. We got a timeout on the floor. KPA now down 4.
Coach Ojuku is forced to call a timeout after Maureen Bosibori's personal 5-0 run.
And that's just it. Zetech Sparks, just like their name, they get a spark and boom, they're on a scoring run, and then you find yourself in a very difficult situation.
So the question would be, how do they make that consistent? How do they go pedal to the metal the whole game? Because we've seen it this whole series, they have their moments, just as you say, So now what we need is we don't need a spark. Once we have a spark and the fire is burning, now we need them to keep that fire burning. Don't let it go down or go out so that they have to spark it up again.
Well, the thing is, Tronell, we can't say that Zetech are not attempting. Right now, they've attempted 18 points, 18 attempts from the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they've only been able to connect on 5 of them. So it's 21% from inside the arc. They're just not making their shots. We've seen the post players missing bunnies, close range right at the rim. We've seen some ill-advised attempts from beyond the arc. So it's not that they're not attempting. I would be more concerned if they were not attempting.
They're not attempting. So, yes, they're attempting, but out of the 18 field goal and the 12 3-point attempts, that means 30 shots in total. How many of them have been quality shots? Like, for example, the last possession by Michelle Sokoju, that wasn't a quality attempt. And they've had quite a few that have not been quality.
So the decision-making on Zetech Sparks' end needs to improve. And again, we say with all these necessary improvements, here they are with a 4-point lead as we head to the end of the first half. And if we are picking up on all of this, Tronell, I can assure you that Coach Ojuku is as well, Coach Millicent is as well, and they are not comfortable in their seats.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely not.
Akinyi at the wing. Kick out to Kyobe. Kyobe splits the defense. Teardrop is no good. Barrel fighting for the rebound. Kyobe wins that battle.
With the shot clock winding down.
Natalie Akinyi from downtown. The tray is good. And KPA now back to down 1 against Zetech Sparks. Akinyi at the wing. Decides to go for it. Puts her head down. She's blocked. And they got to keep an eye on the shot clock as Doumbia picks up another steal, and she is off to the races. She puts the Jets on, and then is too strong on the rim. Michelle Sokuju doesn't have much time to shoot. Behind the back to Maureen Bosbori. No. And we were not able to get that last basket before the buzzer. But it's a 1-point game in Nyayo National Stadium. Zetech Sparks, who were trailing for the better part of the second quarter, have now taken the lead by 1 point.
And that has been the exact case of this whole series. I mean, even in game 1, we went to the halftime break with a 1-point difference. It was 24-25. Today it's 28-29. In game 2, KPA had a 6-point lead, which is also not that much. These teams are really going at it. This is a slugfest.
A slugfest indeed. Listen, we still got much, much more basketball on the way, so don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back with more action.
My name is Gift Kerubo. I play position 2 for Spears, and I've been playing basketball for 7 years, since 2017 when I was in high school. Yeah. I feel like everyone thinks about it, but yeah, me personally, I have thought about it. Basketball kama career, like a full-time career, is really nice. Kwanza, I love sports, so if I get something like that, it would make me happy, and I would obviously accept the offer.
And what do you think, like, why do you think the limitation inakuja wapi to hindering that dream?
Me, the first limitation is kuna few teams. Opportunities ni few, because not many teams take pro players, pro. They're very, very few. Like, especially in Kenya, there are not many pro teams. Like, okay, let me take an example of Thunder. If you look at men's teams, a team you could say is pro is Thunder, maybe KPA and Equity. But what else?
Hakuna.
It's just them. And when you look at women's team, it's just KPA and Equity. Those are 2 teams, and there's so many players in Kenya. There are like more than 100.
Yeah,
there are many players who want the same opportunity as I do.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult, but maybe hard work. Hard work might get you there.
Yeah.
Jemima, I have, but I don't know her name. Her second name, Jemima Equity. But I wouldn't. Saki sound glazed in that. Kwa hiyo interview ati I looked at. Locally, I admire to be like Jemima. I want to shoot like her. She's someone I look up to because she plays exactly how I feel I should be playing. Basketball is like my relief from life, and I feel like playing basketball has helped me. It has built my confidence. It has made me a better person. I used to be so timid, but right now I am such a better person. I can do so many things by myself. Basketball has done so much for me. That's why I love it.
Hello, my name is Brian Otieno, head coach at Soccer Plus Academy.
Tulianza kufanya exam Tuesday na tulikuwa tuenda swimming. Sasa tuenda. Sisi tunaenda swimming.
Anything else?
Good thing I also improved in science from 64 to 84.
64 to 84. That's 20. Yeah, sasa pigia apate makofi. Apate makofi yake. So what we do in a nutshell is every morning when you come to training, let them express themselves, making them share with us how their week has been. Adrian, on you, tell us.
Something. Where? Salam.
Sasa.
Something good.
Yes. We had 7 birthdays in our class.
7.
No man.
In one day.
That is why you have
Jana.
7 birthdays.
18th.
Okay.
Kila mtu ni 18.
Something bad. I dropped by 1%.
By 1%. So every kid has to talk, telling us something good or something bad about their week.
Mwingine ambaye sikuenda shule.
Kwenda shule.
Last day.
Jana kwenda shule.
That is jana nilienda shule last day.
Thursday. Okay. Hakuna kitu mzuri. Yeah.
Because when you come to the field, one of the most important acts is communication. As a player, how can you communicate? Then that communication, when you harness it, how does it help you even at home? How does it help you at school? How do you communicate with your mom? How do you communicate with your father? How do you communicate with the teachers? How do you relate with your fellow students?
Let's be in the pitch in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was interesting because one kid said he got less by 1%.
Yeah.
And it's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Yeah.
It's only 1%. So it's very interesting to see how they think, how they reason, and what they consider is good and bad.
Yeah.
And do you have like a success story about these kids? Like a kid maybe you have seen what they have become, what they were, and what they are now?
Yes, we've had success stories, and one of the success stories, one of the players that is currently with us is called Edward.
Nataka kuona vile una stop. Aliacha viatu nyumbani ati ni baridi. Edward, unasimama juu, ukirudi unasimama mahali umeenda, usirudi chini.
Enda juu Edward.
Enda juu Edward. Ready? Set.
When Edward came, we thought maybe Edward was shy, but I came to understand that it was not about shyness. It was about Edward not being given a platform in his previous team, a platform to express himself.
Yeah.
So we started to build that. We started working on that. We brought some exercises in the football that could make Edward talk.
Let's go again. Mike on my ball. Shut again position.
But we are happy when we see him express himself. You know, he's talking, he's smiling. Yeah, so Edward, he was very shy, and that was like 6 months ago. When all this is said and done, that is what will judge us.
Let's go, 10 seconds to go.
We'll not be judged by how good a player can pass a ball. We'll be judged by how good this player has become.
3, 2, 1.
If you're just joining us, welcome to this live stream of the ladies KNBL Finals Game 3. KPA Dockers leading the way 2-0. Zetech Sparks fighting to extend this game to Game 4, fighting to not get swept. It's been a very interesting first half with Zetech Sparks taking the lead 1 point, even with the absence of Angela Akinyi.
Yeah, now, as the game was beginning, we mentioned how crucial Angela Akinyi is, even to the Zetech Sparks team, averaging 16.5 rebounds in the 2 games. But it's also amazing to see the rest of the Zetech Sparks and how they have stepped up, despite her absence and despite Michelle not having her Michelle-esque game yet. They are still in the lead. KPA, they need to go back to what was working. They are stifling defense. However, 2 of their key players picked up 2 fouls. Aminata has 3 fouls. Alima Dumbia has 2 fouls. And that's something that will be very crucial as we have 20 minutes of basketball left.
The third quarter is underway, and we know the importance of third quarters when it comes to the game of basketball, setting the tone, getting things fired up, and trying to get a decent lead to continue through the second half. Michelle Sokuju now at the top of the key. Drive and kick, and it's way off for Beryl Otieno. As Sema Seku, as Ternell accurately said earlier, she's got 3 personal fouls, and she's going to have to play a very clean game from here on out because KPA hurt when she is not on the floor. Irebu, the top of the key, shot clock starting to wind down. Iregu, Pound Town, no. Yvonne Akinyi with the O board. And now Sema Seku with the runner, that's off. She's tripped up. And Dumbia, quick response from her.
At the right place at the right time. As KPA take back the lead, man. You know, like, this is like the song, you know, swing, swing. We're just going. I'm telling you, at times I feel this series is more of a tennis game rather than a basketball game.
It really is.
Because it's just back and forth.
Christine Akinyi, still cold from beyond the arc.
Man. And Yvonne almost boxed Beryl all the way to the parking lot.
Ville Nafa.
Body on a body.
Yes, sir. And then Sema Seku tries to get that pass on Michelle Sokoju. Is stripped by Dumbia. They're going to call an unsportsmanlike foul on Alima Dumbia.
Oh, that's huge.
That is very huge for KPA.
And
that's going to be her third.
And as we go back, maybe, I don't know whether we can get the replay, because the rule for that particular foul is called a clear path foul, depending on whether you have a teammate in front of you. But there were other people who were in the backcourt, so I don't know whether that warrants a they have reversed it, and they have made it a normal foul.
Okay.
I think after consultation with Eric, because that does not warrant a clear path foul. That would have been huge.
Now, Sema Seku, she got 2. Kenya Ports Authority slow things down, try to kick it up. Bosbori now gets the pass out. No finish. Sokuju with the O board and the baseline shot.
And again, you see, earlier on, I had mentioned in game 2 the presence of Grace. She altered that shot by Michelle. So it may not show up on the stat sheet as a block or as a rebound, but just her presence there caused Michelle to alter her shot.
And Irebu's tall.
She is. She is. She is.
She doesn't look like it on this screen, but she is a tall lady.
Yes.
As the runner is off for Bosbori. Zetech struggling to convert on their attempts. Kiyobe, that time she's off.
So that wasn't the best decision by her. Transition, her feet are not properly set. Her teammates are still in the backcourt.
Sokuju still not able to win a bucket from beyond the arc. She was 0 for 9 in game 2. Tonight, she is 0 for 7. At what point do you have to tell yourself, listen, I need to do something different here?
And earlier on, I had mentioned it, what's working for her is getting in the lane. I would suggest something else that worked between her and her post player was that high pick and roll. It was giving them some good options.
Doumbia now flips the pass in. Look at the rejection from Darlene Joroge.
And she has some hand signs and words for Grace. Like, hey, I know you're a Congolese international player for the national team, but this is the playoffs, and today you're playing against me.
We love a little trash talk here in the studio.
Okay, Slale, when you say little, you love a lot of trash talk.
I do. I admit it. Long pass, not the right one.
Exactly. Long, ill-advised, inerrant pass. Chantal Kiobe with no options.
And Christina Kinyi snatches it right from her hands.
I mean, even Christine is a tall lady, so trying to get that pass over her is a tall order.
It's been a low-scoring third quarter. Christina Kinyi off the mark. Another block for Grace Irebu.
And now Grace with some words of her own, this time on Beryl Otieno. Man, as the viewers, as the fans, as the commentators, we are here for it all.
We're here for it all. We love the entertainment.
We want the smoke, and we are not content with the smoke. We want the whole wildfire.
So the ball is going to be inbounded by Kiyobe. Doumbia to bring it up. 1 point game, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a slow third quarter. Neither team has been able to find their offensive rhythm. It's a shovel pass to find Yvonne, and she gets KPA their second field goal in the quarter.
Yeah, so far with 4 minutes of play gone, KPA only have 4 points to show for it, and Zetech only have 1.
Zetech Sparks missing bunnies left, right, and center. Bosbori misses the 3-point, tries to chase down the rebound. And Zetech Sparks keep on missing at close range.
Man, I literally saw you throw your hands up in disbelief.
So Kuju now at the top of the key. She wants a screen. Behind the back, fires. And I think Yvonne got a piece of that.
She definitely did. Alima trying to calm things down, calling out a play as the shot clock is at 9. Grace gave up on that play, and it was chased down by Ashley Minayo, goes all the way, doesn't get it to go, and Aminata tips it to herself and brings it up in a hurry. She has options, and she can't find both, and the ball comes off Zetech Sparks. From this angle, it looked like it came off Chantal's leg, but the referee was in a better position, so we'll go with her decision.
Hard-fought game on both sides. KPA now with the 3-point advantage. Ball is going to be inbounded from the baseline. Irebu. Bosbori was all over her. And Bosbori now has a great look at the cup. She makes that one count and keeps Zetech in it.
If you are joining us for Game 3 and you did not watch Game 1 and 2, this is an exact carbon copy. Oh, beautiful pass. What a beautiful pass by Aminata to find Chantal, who cannot convert it to a 3-point play. I felt she should have gone up and protected it with her chicken wing. We call it the chicken wing, and finished with the other hand. As we have a timeout on the floor. I was telling our viewers that if they did not watch Game 1 and 2, this is an exact copy-paste of how the series has been. With a few questionable decisions, with turnovers, with missed opportunities right at the rim. As we see on your screen, Coach Anthony Ojuku taking charge. Aminata off the screen just now, we saw her having a word on the side with Coach Millicent. She seemed to be in some discomfort, or maybe it was just frustration. It is hard to tell by facial expressions if you're still standing.
It is indeed. Doumbia now leading all scorers with 12 points, followed by Vilma Cheng, who has not played in this game yet. She has 5 points.
No, you meant that she hasn't played in this quarter yet?
Sorry, not in this quarter. She played in the first half and played well, considering she was in there for very limited minutes.
I was just about to ask you, is Vilma a ghost worker?
You're going to have to ask Coach Ojuku that question.
No, as because you said that she hasn't played in this game. Anyway, Chantal Kiobe at the line for 2 free throws. As she sinks the first one. For those of you who did not see game 1, Chantal Kiobe's free throw is the one that ultimately won the game for the KPA Dockers in a closely contested match. She doesn't get the second one to go, and Yvonne Akinyi is unable to control it, and Zetech get the possession.
The gym is getting packed out in anticipation of the game that's also coming up after this one. It's going to be Nairobi City Thunder playing against the men's side of Kenya Ports Authority. And Thunder leading 2-0. They also have a chance to close out the season for Kenya Ports Authority tonight.
As we have a turnover by Zetech. So the big question that I think is on everyone's mind, mine included, is this the last weekend of Premier League? Is this the last day of Premier League action that we are seeing?
Well, it very well could be for 2 teams here, as Irebu misfires. And now Bosibori manages to break the double team. Grace Irebu, excellent timing on that pass. She's got the steal and then now gets the bucket back and misses at the cup. Finger roll finish wasn't going to get there. She didn't have the juice to finish up the play.
Yeah.
And another missed opportunity for Kenya Ports Authority as Ashley Minayo. She is red hot from beyond the arc. And that's going to be 9 points for her.
Man, Ashley Minayo, where were you in game 1 and 2?
What matters is the here and now. Doumbia attempts with the counter. Yvonne doing a great job of cleaning up the trash. And then, speaking of counters, Natalie Akinyi reminds us all that she's got it like that. Barrel, spin move, not going to get there. Michelle Sokuju, fighting chance. I love to see it. I love to see her crashing the boards, regardless of the height difference. That's what the team needs to do. It's a 2-point differential here. KPA now in the lead. And a turnover for Kenya Ports Authority off Akinyi's leg. So ball's going to go back the other end.
And I wish the camera could have captured Grace Irebu's face. She gave the handoff to Natalie. She's turning to the other side to go and free Yvonne. And then by the time she looks back, the ball has been turned over. And she was like, huh? What just happened?
In a fast-paced game, despite a low-scoring quarter.
This quarter has been very fast, but also very low in terms of scoring. Ashley with a kick out to Christine. Christine, corner 3 is going to go. And Michelle, arguably the smallest player on the court, comes up with the board. As you said, we love to see it.
Christine Akinyi fighting her way to the cup, and then Beryl trying to bail her out. We got a whistle on the floor. It's a pushing foul.
Yes. It was on the floor.
So Minai is going to inbound from the base.
Yeah. And again, I just have to mention, because it happened again, Grace Irebu with another forcing a player to alter their shot.
Sometimes it's the intangibles, the
Yes,
things that you don't
yes.
see on the stat sheet that make a difference in games.
They do. And you know, that's the difference between somebody who watches the whole game, somebody who waits for the highlights. Just prior to this, Michelle Sokoju took a very off-balance shot, as Alima takes a balanced one but off. Grace gets the rebound, doesn't get it to go, and it comes off her face. Zetech get possession. You know, and Michelle has been taking a few of these off-balance, jumping to one side kind of shots. I don't know, maybe that's what she's been working on, but clearly it's not falling for her. Christine with a pull-up three, doesn't get it to go. Sokoju with a baseline jumper. But again, can I point out the offensive rebounding by Zetech? Just like that, they have gotten 3 possessions. Off the Christine miss, off the Sokoju miss, they've gotten yet another possession.
They are now at 21 offensive rebounds.
That's crazy.
And while that is an impressive number, what are you going to do with the rebound once you get it?
And this is the song that we've been singing. We literally made it a chorus that their rebounding numbers are not translating to their scores. You know, their attempts, the possessions they get are not translating to the scores.
So we have a bit of stoppage here as Ashley Minayo lacing up her kicks.
And we have Evelyn Diana checking in for Michelle Sokoju.
Minayo gets it into Akinyi. Akinyi, she's got Irebu on her. Picks up the... Oh, wow. Great find for Evelyn Diana on the cut. And that's great ball movement to find the open player. Why can't they do that again and again? Granted, KPA have been doing a phenomenal job on the defensive end. A lot of ball pressure as we see another turnover as Semaseku goes out of bounds. Speaking of defensive pressure, Zetech Sparks turning up the heat on the defensive end. We got a tie game and about 1:24 left in this third quarter.
In a win or go home for Zetech. And also KPA are not playing with the urgency of a team that wants to close out the series. You know, they are comfortable with trading blows with Zetech, and you know, down the stretch it may prove costly as we have another turnover by Zetech, namely Evelyn Diana. She anticipated the same movement in the last play and it didn't come to pass.
She's not wrong in wanting that movement as we see Irebu fouled.
Barbara Diana.
Sorry, Barbara Diana. I feel like a lot of people have the Asia ones today. I mean, maybe it's just pink shoes.
Yeah, those look like Kobe's. I don't know. Maybe the cameraman will hear me and zoom in. Yeah, I think Barbara Diana. Okay, they are pink, but I think those are Kobe's. Me being a shoe head.
What's your favorite shoe,
Ooh,
Janelle?
Jordan 11s.
How much do those go for? On the black market.
Oh, on the black market. Now, it depends. You know, on the black market, we have Jordan and Jordan. As Barbara Diana sings the second free throw. So just how black are we talking?
Decent black.
Decent black. Okay. As Marsha is stifled and Aminata Samaseku steps out of bounds, but Marsha Oko had nowhere to go. They timed that trap to perfection.
Well, the rule is don't go to the corner. Keep the ball center of the court. So she fell right into that trap. This time, Zetech Sparks managed to keep control of the ball. Ashley Minayo wasn't the right decision for her. Now we got a long pass to Selena Okumu. KPA will slow things down just a bit, take them time. Selena off the mark. Barbara sent to the floor by 3 white shirts.
She definitely got into it with Evelyn Diana.
So we've got under a minute of game here in the third quarter. It's back to a 2-point game. This time with KPA in the lead.
Oh, I wonder why Celine hesitated to take that shot. And she has been a mid-range. I mean, we have come to know her for her mid-range efficiency. Celine Okumu, a former finals MVP, has been with the KPA Dockers for a number of years now. As Alima Doumbia was fouled as she was hop-stepping her way to the cup.
Doumbia gets the first one to drop.
If I was Zetech, I would not rely on our comeback ability. Because we are going into the fourth quarter. 10 minutes, KP up by 4 with 2 possessions left on the clock. And Zetech turn it over. Celine drives, is fouled by Masha Oko. That was a very, very good foul.
It was absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary, and Masha Oko left no chance for that ball to even go up.
She'll take her chances with Selena Okumu at the free throw line.
Also, a big shout out to Celine and their family. The whole family of basketballers.
Yes, they are.
Celine has a twin who plays for the Storms. Younger sister plays for Equity. The brother plays for the Snipers. I mean...
And they're all super athletic.
Very. And very aggressive. I'm just trying to imagine what it was like having dinner, like all of you together. As Velma gets the easy putback and KPA make it a 7-point lead.
And now this suffocating defense for KPA.
As Barbara Diana picks up a foul. I think she was a few seconds late on the rotation. But that's a foul that, she's happy to take. And she sends Pressbury at the ambo to the line. We haven't seen much from her, like in terms of minutes and playing time. But then again, we say, next man up. She comes in, she's fouled, knocks the free throw.
It's not about how much time you got on the floor, but what you do with the time that you do have.
As cool as a cucumber. I think that one you need to tweet it out. As Pressbury at the ambo knocks them both to make it a 5-point game. The shot clock winding down, and we have come to the end of the third quarter. So at the beginning of the third, KPA were down by 1 point. Now they're up by 5.
It's a lead that can go at any moment, but as you said rightfully so earlier, we're entering the fourth quarter. So it's crunch time. It's crunch time. How badly do you want it? Does KPA want to end things tonight, or does Zetech still wants another shot at the trophy? 2 very real possibilities. Game can go either way. It's a matter of time. We're going to find out in the next 10 minutes.
And I think both teams need to come out with a certain level of urgency. KPA, they need to show us that they want to close this out and they do not want a game 4, because once you give Zetech a game 4, they're young, energetic, and their spirits will be lifted. So if I'm KPA, I'm looking to close this out in the first 5 minutes. Zetech have to come out and fight tooth and nail every possession. Earlier on, we saw a couple of possessions where Michelle Sokoju was calling for a high pick and roll, and either because of the confusion between the primary post defender, her teammate was rolling all by herself to the basket, and that was working. So Michelle should not try to do too much, but they need to come out with the urgency from the first possession.
Well, so Kuju right now has 5 points.
I think she has been scoreless this third quarter.
Bosbori is at 7, Ashley Minayo 9, and she has come up clutch for Zetech Sparks. If I'm Coach Obi, I would make sure that she's on the floor.
And she's more involved to run intentional plays to get her off screens and stuff, you know. Because today, from the 3-point line, she's the one, I think, who has the hot hand. She's shooting 60%. I think, yes, because she has made 3 out of 5. So, Snale, the fate of the Kenya Basketball Women's Premier League could be decided in 10 minutes.
It could indeed. It could indeed. And congratulations to both teams for making it this far. And quite frankly, for giving us a show. Every game has been very evenly matched, and it's been fun to watch. It really has been. Seku now to bring the ball up. Picks up her dribble, kicks it to Barbara.
Tough stifling defense by Zetech to begin the fourth.
Long pass. And the shot clock about to expire. It does.
Again, call me prophet.
I told you to share what your payable number is.
I said that particular possession, tough stifling defense by Zetech to begin it, you know, and they got a good look on the offensive end. They came back, played some stifling defense as Michelle goes all the way to the cup and challenges Barbara Diana, who sends her to the line, where in her only trip to the line she has been perfect today.
Well, so Koju has gotten 3 of her 5 points from the free throw line. She could make it 5.
Well, in the whole of game 2, 3 of her 5 points were from the free throw line also.
So she's right on brand as she gets the first free throw to go. And again, if you're just joining us, we are at Nyayo National Stadium for the final quarter of Game 3 Women's Finals. KPA win this. They send Zetech Sparks packing and will be declared the queens of the KNBL for the 2024 to 2025 season.
And it has really been it feels like that's been a 2-year season.
It really has. It really has. But it all comes down to this. Okumu thought about the drive, goes right. Scoop, not going to get there.
She's whacked by Beryl Otieno. But then again, I'm not mad about that foul. In her previous trip, Celine was 0-2 at the line. So I'm comfortable with sending her.
Selena Okumu is one of those players, again, who does your dirty work. Whenever you see Ojuku grabbing her jersey and throwing her onto the floor,
she has a specific assignment.
She has a specific assignment. That's the SEAL, the Navy SEALs of KPA.
Oh, as Michelle Sokoju dribbles it out of bound. That was the right call. Michelle has no case, absolutely.
No one to blame but herself.
You know, at times I think, I don't know whether you did it in your playing days, but I've done it in my playing days also quite a bit, whereby, you know, I've tried to convince the referee, even though in my heart I know, you know, hey, this possession is not ours. And at times it works. As you said earlier in the game, very clearly, you know, sometimes it depends on how good you sell it.
It is. I think I've had numerous conversations on the floor about that with Banda. I know Banda has a soft spot for me, so I used to try and pick him out and try and convince him. As we have another foul on the floor, looks like Semaseku. Oh, Velma picks it up.
And that was a very smart foul by her to stop the possible transition.
And fast break.
Very smart foul.
So 4-point game here with lots of game left.
Oh, did the referees call an unsportsmanlike foul? I mean, you see now that I would agree that was a clear path foul. Because they were at the same line with the other defenders. So, yeah. Still, if I was Velma, I would do it all over again.
Checking into the game for Evelyn Diana, it's Ashley Minayo. And let's see if she can carry that hot hand into the fourth quarter here. So Kuju at the wing. Doumbia trying to pick her pocket.
Yeah, Halima Doumbia should have stayed on the ground. The moment you stand up after you went to the ground, it's an automatic travel.
But Doumbia has been doing an outstanding defensive job on Michelle Sokoju.
Oh, she has. She has. And after Michelle Sokoju beat her in the first quarter with a behind-the-back dribble, it has not happened again.
And you see, it's not too often that you see a two-way guard like that who is getting things done on the offensive and defensive end. She's leading all scorers for KPA with 14 points. And then at the same time, to be able to have the energy to guard the strongest offensive player on the other team.
Strongest, fastest, most craftiest. And in that particular one, Michelle got the better of her as Halima Doumbia picks up her third personal with a lot of time in this game. And so far, Michelle has been perfect from the line. Silale, that's 6 out of 6. Silale, maybe let me ask you. Oh, and I had to jinx it.
You jinxed it.
What is the highest number of free throws you've ever scored in a professional game?
Ooh, I can't remember that. It's definitely double digits. Speaking of double digits, Vilma Acheng well on her way to have a double-digit night on the scoring end of things. She comes off the bench, and she has been a firecracker for Kenya Ports Authority. As Christine Akinyi scoring woes continue. Still score. She has struggled, not just in this game, but this entire series.
And even in the previous series, she hasn't played like the Christine we have come to know. As Velma goes to the ground, we'll have a common ball situation. Hey, and we have some extracurricular affairs going on as players are getting a bit emotional.
It's getting chippy. It's getting chippy.
We love to see it. I told you, we are not only here for the smoke. We are here for the whole forest fire.
You're here for the whole forest fire.
And let's see when the referees come together what they will decide. It's going to be interesting to see whether they will assess any of the extracurricular activities that are happening.
It's got to be at least 3 players with warnings. You got a lot of pushing and shoving.
And there was one very clear push by Grace.
Yes. And then a very clear push from Beryl at
also.
Zetech Sparks.
Yeah.
So referees are going to have to make some very important decisions to make sure that they keep control of the game and that this game doesn't get out of hand. Again, yes. 5 points, not a huge differentials here. And as we get on into the fourth quarter, every single possession matters. Every decision that the players and the referees make really, really matter.
You happened to mention that 5 points is not a huge differential, but in this series, 5 points is a lot. The way the series has been going. I saw Eric issue a technical foul to number 15. I wasn't sure whether it was Beryl or Grace, or whether it was a double technical. I think since no one is shooting, then it must have been a double technical foul, because they are the ones who are getting into it. And as you said, calm things early enough.
So it's KPA ball. Doumbia to trigger.
As Maureen Bosibori seems to be inspired by the Harambee Stars and very emphatically kicks it out of play.
By any means necessary at this point in the
By
game.
any and all means necessary. Oh, an inerrant pass by Velma. I am looking forward to the day when even basketball will be as highly rewarded or held in such high esteem as football.
So Kuju trying to draw the defense. Comes up short. Darlene Njoroge has a go at it. Manages to bury the midi. And we got ourselves a 3-point game.
One of the reasons that Zetech, they seem to pick up so many offensive rebounds is that when Michelle goes on a tear, all of the KPA players are scrambling and she has them out of position. But I think Michelle needs to do a better job of realizing that the player's out of position to find the open man as opposed to gambling with the rebound.
It's an aspect of her game that I'm sure she'll work on in the off season. I don't think she wants that off season to begin today. Bosbori from way behind the arc.
As Michelle Sokoju totally missed her rolling teammate when the double team came.
.6:44 to go in the fourth quarter. And I hope you've not placed any bets on this game.
Because it could still swing
It could
either
swing
way.
any which way right now. But Minayo to inbound the ball for Sparks.
It is really impossible to tell which side the dice will fall.
Bosbori baseline cut. Pass snuffed out. So Kuju saw it coming.
As that pass was snuffed out, that was another inerrant pass by Natalie. But Zetech cannot convert it. Yet another case of extra possessions with nothing to show for it.
So the Sparks head back to the other end, coming up empty in yet another possession. Natalie Akinyi to bring it up. Akinyi with the finger roll, no. Sokuju, long pass to Bosbori. Back to Sokuju. The kick out to Minayo. Minayo, she's been quiet so far. Drive and kick. And now the tough drive, no good. Njoroge, the putback, and Zetech Sparks struggles continue. They're doing the right things. They're getting the right looks at the rim, and then missing the opportunities, blowing them away.
Just the thing that just happened, I think it's what is wrong with, is one of the things that's wrong with Kenyan basketball. They had the numbers, they were 3-on-2, okay? And Natalie, instead of cutting at the 45 angle towards the basket, she ran to the 3-point line at the base, which effectively made it a 2-on-2, and they gambled with the shot, and Zetech came up with the possession. Yet if she would have stayed in the layup lane for the transition, that would have been a 3-on-2. The thing with the NBA is that people don't understand how hard those guys train. When they run to the 3-point line, it's because they shoot 600, 700, 800 shots a day. In Kenya, training time at most is 2 hours. And then we want to pull such moves.
And I've seen Steph Curry, one of his practices as we see Doumbia attack the cup and get the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
He will run literally from baseline to baseline and shoot the corner 3. So he's shooting when he's tired, because it's very hard to shoot a 3 when you're tired.
And even when he does it in a game, it's something that he has been shooting during his workouts. For us, we don't train for things and we want manna to fall from heaven. Ain't gonna happen. as KPA make it a 5-point lead. Alima Dumbi, I think this is the first time maybe this season I've seen her on the floor with something that's not a foot injury, because she's as tough as a nail.
She is indeed. She knows how to take the contact. She's not afraid of the contact.
She's explaining to the referee, she's pleading a case that somebody elbowed her straight to the jaw, because even when she went down, she was holding her face. And that's why I said I haven't seen her on the floor with a non-foot related injury. And she's mad, she's livid about something. So the basketball rules is that whenever you go to the floor, you have to be subbed out. So Coach Millicent brings in someone and puts her immediately back at the subs table.
And takes advantage of that moment to have a few quick words with her. I think that's great understanding
Very.
from Coach Millicent, and taking advantage of that time to make sure that her player's head is still in the game.
Yes.
Not just any player, but her star player.
Yes. As Ashley Minayo misses both from the line. I think Ashley Minayo should have gone and shot it from the 3-point line instead. Chantal almost mishandles it, finds Natalie, who calls out a play. The shot clock winding down. They had 8 seconds left on the shot clock, but now it'll go back to 14, and Zetech are over the foul limit, so they'll send Natalie to the line for 2 free throws. Now, also a very big shout out to Natalie, who has been in this game for quite a while.
A lot of championships under her belt.
Including, I think one of her biggest ones was the Africa 3x3 Championship, where she hit the buzzer-beating killer 3 to beat Egypt in 2023. She was part of the 3x3 team that beat Egypt. They dethroned Egypt, and that was, I think, one of the highlights of Kenyan basketball that year and for the few years.
I think that was one of the strongest 3x3 female national teams we ever fielded. I remember she was joined by Hilda Indasi, Medina Okot, and Marcy Wanyama.
Yeah.
And they were a very strong unit. As we have a timeout on the floor, not too much time for these two teams to work out the final kinks. We've got just over 4 minutes left to go.
As KPA go up by 7. And so another question is, will KPA be able to close it out? Are they sensing that we're almost there? And at times scores can lie to you, time can lie to you, and you may get a bit overconfident or overexcited. And I hope for their sake that they're able to close it out.
Well, Zetech Sparks are known to have late game runs.
Yes, they are.
But I think if KPA continue to play their defense, for me, I feel it is their defense that is actually causing them to win this game, because it is actually a low-scoring game.
Very.
It is a low-scoring game, but what they've been able to do is they have forced Zetech Sparks out of their offensive comfort zones, and they've cut off their star players. Again, we also can't forget that Angela Akinyi, who's been big for Zetech Sparks in this series, has that injury. But KPA, according to me, are going for the jugular.
Oh yeah. Like how we say it here in Kenya, kanyaga shingo bado anapumua.
So violent.
So the jugular is not.
Jugular sounds more scientific.
Okay, still.
So Kuju, kick out to Christine Akinyi. Akinyi out to the corner. Minayo, back to Akinyi. Akinyi fires. And Akinyi off balance. Rushing her shot. Way off target.
Off target, off balance, off everything.
And she is 0 for 8 now from beyond the arc. And in terms of her attempts inside the arc, it's just 2. And yet I know that she is a strong player in the paint.
She is.
But valuable experience here for Zetech Sparks. A young squad with a lot of new players in their unit. Listen, regardless of how this final series pans out, Zetech Sparks deserve all our respect.
Oh, yes, they do.
Now the drive and kick. Akinyi finally finds her 3-point shot.
And
Zetech now at 46.
And like that was a beautiful drive and kick by Bosibori. Ooh, Bosibori almost picks Natalie's pocket. And they forced a turnover because Natalie, she was rolling all over the place. So, you know, again, one thing I've noticed with Zetech is they just need one big play to happen. I know it's like as if it lights a fire, but the problem is that they're not consistent. They're not consistent. So Zetech right now, judging by the trajectory of this series so far, they may go on a 7-0 run and take a 2-point lead. But then after that, they calm down again. I can't figure them out. I simply can't.
Give him time, Trinell. I would say give him time. Again, it's they say wisdom comes with experience, right? And that's understanding. What you're talking about right now is basketball IQ. Having a run and then knowing how to intentionally slow the game down and take the high percentage shots. But they're missing the high percentage shots, but still getting those runs. They're doing a good job of getting those scoring runs, and then you see just an avalanche of turnovers and missed baskets and rushed baskets, so they get excited and then they make bad plays.
On a normal day, I would 100% agree with you. Today, I 90% agree with you, simply because Zetech do not have the room for them to get the experience they need while still in the program, because, you know, they are students. So every year, there are people transitioning in, transitioning out. So for them, this is their brand of basketball. Up-tempo, we live in the moment. Because next year, maybe I'm in my 4th year and I won't be in the school, you know.
But it's no different to what we see in the NCAA and top collegiate levels as well, right? And yet we see, the top teams, the UConns, the Baylors, the Tennessee States, we continue to see them consistently perform. So how are they able to achieve that, even though they have a similar turnover as what we're seeing with Zetech University?
Yeah, I think also, because for them, the training or the foundation is way bigger. Because you find there's a kid who has been in a program, an AAU program, all the way since he was 7 years old, 8 years old. So the experience he has gotten by the time he's at college is way different from what maybe somebody in Kenya has gotten. The training you get in high school, you cannot compare it. For example, you can't compare a 15-year-old in Kenya and one in America. As it's a 4-point lead, Michelle with a beautiful fake, kicks it out to Christine. Christine with an air ball. Celine clears it up.
Now Ashley Minayo has to be careful here, but she's going to pick up a personal foul.
And that should send Aminata to the line. So you know what I was saying? You cannot compare the level of play for a 15-year-old in the States and a 15-year-old in Kenya. In Kenya, we play basketball for 2 terms. Before it was just for 1 term. Now the second term there's 3-on-3. And then most probably you're sent to preps, you're sent to the dorm, so you don't touch a basketball till January again. But whereas in the States, somebody is training the whole year round in programs, and maybe they're in successful high schools and things like that, camps, So that's where I say that Zetech, they don't have the luxury of growing with experience. As Aminata knocks down the first one, Aminata Samaseku calmly sinks the second one. Ice in her veins, that one. And by the way, she's a really young player.
How old is she?
21, turning 22. As Halima Dumbia picks a pocket. Oh, I'm interested to see what the referee will call. I think she got a hit to the face again. Yeah, she's definitely got a hit on that lower lip. Judging by the hand, so Chantal Kiobe is telling Alima to take your time on the ground, and Celine, being the warrior, she's just like, yeah, get up, like you're good.
Well, Alima Dumbia.
That's one tough cookie.
She is. Poker face, KPA in the bonus.
Hey.
She'll shoot a couple of free throws and try to extend this lead to 8.
As KPA fans are beginning to sense the victories within grasp. Hey, Slale, let me pick your brain. If KPA win today, who would your vote for MVP be?
I mean, I feel it's a no-brainer. Alima Doumbia is the X factor. Not even the X factor. X factor is hidden. She is the clear
She's the
leader.
A to Z factor.
Yes, she's the A to Z factor. She's a clear leader for MVP, especially in this series. KPA don't have her on the floor. It makes a wealth of difference.
It does.
And I'm not just talking on the offensive end. As I said earlier, I find her to be a two-way specialist.
She is.
And her ability to lead her team in scoring, but also be the defensive choice by her coach for the other team's offensive lead, I think that speaks a lot to who she is as a player.
I couldn't agree with you more. And if I give her any more flowers right now after what you've just said, I think I'll just have to buy her the whole shop. As Michelle Sokoju seems rattled under pressure, she misses the free throw, one area that she's thrived at this series. She calmly sinks the second one. We have a sub on the floor.
Semaseku to bring the ball up. The floor general extraordinaire. KPA did such a great job in recruiting her and adding her skill set to their personnel.
Yes, indeed.
It gets a heavy load lifted off Natalie Akinyi's back.
Yes.
Who has been the go-to point guard for Kenya Ports Authority over the last several years. Selena Okumu fadeaway, no.
With the shot clock winding down. And another great pickup by KPA now this season was Alima Doumbia.
Difficult.
I mean, okay. Again, referee's decision is final. The player had her eyes set on the basket, Evelyn Diana, but I'm pretty sure she wouldn't mind a couple of free throws, and she gets the first one to go. If we were to go by the words of Rashid Wallace, who normally screams "ball don't lie," then I guess the ball didn't lie. Maybe it was a foul.
Gets the second free throw.
Clutch free throws.
And again, Zetech still very much within reach. Can they go on a final scoring run with 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the game clock? And those are the kind of plays that they have to keep on doing. It's a good read of the sense of urgency that is needed right now. Great defense on Zetech Sparks' end. Managed to shave off some time on this shot clock.
Right now, if I was Zetech, I would put so much of pressure on Samaseku and Doumbia and force the others to bring the ball up.
Michelle Sokoju gambled on the steal, went flying. Doumbia tried to get it out to Kiyobe. Kiyobe keeps things alive. And then Christine Akinyi sends another KPA player to the free throw line.
She had no awareness of the shot clock, because just as the buzzer sounded, the foul was called, and sends Chantal to the line. Immediately after the ref blew her whistle, the buzzer sounded.
Cannot stress the importance of game awareness.
Game awareness, you have to be aware, especially when you're playing with a shot clock in gymnasiums like KPA and at Nyayo. You have to be aware. Chantal unable to make them pay with the first one, but she gets the second one to drop.
And you can see the enthusiasm of the Kenya Ports Authority administrative players as Evelyn Diana tries to go coast to coast.
And the ball finds itself so with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, what can Zetech do to keep their season alive?
It's tough. Things just haven't been going their side this final series. I would say go for the high percentage attempts, and that's at the cup. And you see that they're going to the free throw line. if they can just draw the foul over and over again, they'll be able to chip away at this lead.
And also stop the time.
So you want to have as much stoppage time as possible, slow down the clock so you can have more possessions and more opportunities to actually do something. But I don't think 3-point shots are the way to go for Zetech. I think it's a gamble for them. I don't think they've been consistent on that front. As speaking of consistency, Evelyn Diana wasn't too sure of that free throw, but she gets it to drop. It's a 5-point game. She could make it a 4-point game.
She can't, and Grace Urebu clears up the boards.
And you see Grace
Telling
signaling
Aminata,
to Semaseku, slow the ball down.
Calm down.
Let's use the clock. We have the time on our side. Doumbia now kicks it out to Kiyobe, wide open.
Oh, if that would have gone in, I would have called it. I mean, this game would have been over. Halima Doumbia.
Bosbori now with the rock. Throws up a wild attempt. And Selena will be called for another personal foul.
Either it's a wild attempt or it's a smart attempt, because the moment I feel your body on mine and I know this is an illegal and I'm out of control, I will flip it up also. Try and sell it.
Well, we talked about, drawing the foul, and Bosbori does a good job of that as we have a timeout on the floor. And I'm telling you, Coach Ojukwu is still under pressure. I'm sure he's still not comfortable. He still doesn't consider himself with the victory in hand. Coach Obi, very intelligent coach, knows how to fix some crucial plays to change the outcome of games. We've talked about Zetech's late game scoring runs. Is 45 seconds enough to at least even out the score?
This is the exact same situation where they were in game 2. They were down by 5 with maybe a few less seconds. They were down by 5 with around 37 seconds left in the game. And they're in the exact same position again. If you ask me, this is still an open ball game because it's only a 2-possession game. So if Zetech can get their offense to drop for them, actually, with Bosibori going to the line, she might make it a 1-possession game with 45 seconds left. A lot of time, but also a lot of pressure. I mean, with a gymnasium as packed as this, finals in a win or go home, I'm pretty sure, she's feeling the pressure, but let's hope that her calmness will overcome the pressure as she misses the first one. See, again, small things like this, small things, because she had the opportunity to make it a 3-point game.
I wouldn't call this a small thing. I would say this free throw qualifies as a big thing.
Okay, this particular thing, but people normally view like free throws as small things,
And she gets the second one to go.
To make it a 4-point game. This is going to be an interesting finish.
Doumbia, the right person to have the ball. Oh, Evelyn Diana. It looked clean.
It definitely did look clean.
It looked clean.
As you can see, the Zetech fans roaring in disapproval and the KPA fans with their jubilation of approval.
And then all the rest of the fans discussing.
Apart from our viewers at home, they don't have the privilege of the replay.
And keep in mind, both teams now in the bonus. So Doumbia, calm as you like. She doesn't crack under the pressure.
As cool as a cucumber, as cold as ice.
Drops the first free throw. And KPA 38 seconds from calling game. Doumbia gets the second to go, and you can hear the roar of the KPA fans who are that much closer to victory.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that as of right now, the fans are beginning. They can taste it. They can taste it. 6 points, 22 seconds. KPA with the possession.
looks like Coach Ojuku called a final timeout.
As the team manager from KPA, he's trying so hard to contain his smile, but failing miserably. And those are some of the traveling fans from KPA. Those are the same guys who in the Makanda Gymnasium, I call them the bottle boys, the ones who are banging the bottles, if you remember.
Wow, big shout out to the fans. We love to see travel fans. You know, some fans have to call in for leave.
Yes.
So that they can just get the time to travel.
You know,
this game was actually slated for Friday night, and I think they shifted it to Saturday just to give the fans a chance to travel comfortably and then make their way here to Nyayo National Stadium.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a sacrifice all over. You know, there's finances, there's time, there's the inconvenience, the hustle of the journey. You know, because maybe not every fan can afford a flight. So, and even last weekend in Mombasa, we had quite a number of fans who traveled from Nairobi, you know, and it's always a beautiful sight to see. Official time, 23.5 seconds left. KPA with a 6-point lead. And Zetech right now, they need to pick their poison. They go into a full court press. This would be my advice. Go into full court press. If within the first 3 seconds you don't get a foul, force the ball to go into the lowest free throw percentage shooter and foul them.
So Kenya Ports Authority will be using the clock as much as possible. Kiyobe with the dagger, no. Doumbia squeezes it right into the heart of Zetech Sparks. And that could be the last field goal of this game.
And it
is. It is.
It is.
Kenya Ports Authority get back the crown, the queens of basketball in Kenya. That is your team on your screens. Kenya Ports Authority with the victory, 59 to Zetech Sparks, 51 points.
As the crown has been restored to the Monarchs, the current Monarchs of the game.
Basketball royalty on your screens. You can see the jubilation on their faces. Kenya Ports Authority have swept Zetech Sparks. They did the right things. It wasn't the prettiest basketball at times, but they fought to the final whistle. They had different stars coming to the fore, but as Tranel rightfully said, the star that stands out the most to us has got to be Alima Doumbia. Even as we see Grace Irebu, who came in as a great support player with the Congolese flag, representing her nation with a smile on her face. She has every reason to be proud.
Oh, she has. And you know, this makes it all the more sweeter for KPA, because last year they lost it in Game 5 on their home court in Makande, something that seldom happens. I think that was the first time they've ever lost finals in their own gymnasium, and so they went back to the drawing board, figured out what to do, and came back. They added the right pieces. They added Chantal Kiobe, who was huge she was huge in Game 2. They've added Alima Doumbia, who has been huge this whole season long. And so also big shout out to the management and the coaches, you know, for going and getting the right pieces, the pieces that they needed. They let go of the ones that they did not. And it has worked out for them.
It has worked out for them. At times, of course, things didn't look like things were going to go on their side. Finishing the regular season 20-2, their dominance was felt from the get-go. From the get-go, they put in the work during the off-season. They got the right pieces to make a puzzle that would get them a trophy, and that is exactly what they have earned themselves this night. Kenya Ports Authority are the queens of Kenyan basketball, your Kenya national basketball champions.
As they give a lap of honor for the fans to appreciate their diehard fans who have been with them the whole season long. These are just some beautiful sights. Definitely heartbreak again for Zetech. This is definitely heartbreak for Zetech. And this is their second time in 3 years they've been beaten by KPA in the finals. But again, as you say, we cannot shout enough about the amazing program that is the Zetech Sparks, and the phenomenal job that Coach Morris Obilo is doing. They have our hearts, they have our respect. But tonight, this evening belongs to the KPA Dockers. These are the sights and sounds coming to you live from Nyayo National Gymnasium.
As we take a look at some of the highlights from this incredible Game 3 of the final series between Kenya Ports Authority and Zetech Sparks. Alima Doumbia, a front runner with the no-look pass into Yvonne Akinyi, a front runner for the MVP. Absolutely no doubt about that one. And she will be maybe awarded at some point tonight, assuming the men's game, the men's final series is also closed up this lovely Saturday evening here in Nairobi, Kenya. But an outstanding performance for her, finishing with 22 points while shooting 58% from inside the arc, and 5 steals from her. We talked about her defense. What an incredible job she did on Michelle Sokuju, absolutely shutting her down. And Zetech Sparks sorely missed the presence of Angie Akinyi.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to her, and we hope it's not a serious injury, and we hope to see her back fit and healthy for the beginning of the next season. It has been our pleasure to take you through this game. Please don't go very far, because coming up is the next of our double header between the KPA and Nairobi City Thunder. Silale.